Welcome back to Regeneration TV. My name is Josh,
Javier, Hannon.
and we're about to get into his head.
Oh.
So, Javier, welcome on our channel.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a long time coming. We always wanted to get him on because he has so much to say and we can learn so much about him. But before we get into it, you remind me of somebody.
Uh-oh.
I just can't pinpoint it. Oh, okay. We won't say it, but I'll post a picture for you.
Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clean.
But yeah, so Javier, how long have you been with our church?
It's going on 2 years now that I've been here. Started coming and visiting 4 years ago, but I would say 2 years later.
Oh, wow. And I know it's been a bumpy ride, bumpy in your life in general. Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, I've been through a lot. Spent a lot of my life in and out of prison. 25 years to be exact. But you know, it's just it's all a matter of choices and making the wrong choices, the right choices, and made a lot of wrong choices.
What is your experience as being in both worlds, being in the outside world and being in our church life?
It all comes boiling down to what I've come to finally realize is that it's just a matter of being a part of. I guess in the world I always wanted to be a part of something that was going to be, you know, fun, and I thought it was fun, but it ended up being more painful than fun. But now that I'm a part of this, it seems to have more substance for me, so it's working out.
You expressed in our church that you hit a lot of mile markers in your life recently, and what are they exactly?
Well, I just recently, so I've been on juvenile probation, adult probation, and adult parole for 25 years of my life. I just finally, last week, I finished up with that, so now I'm free from all that. But not only that, I have 2 years and 9 days that I've actually been out of custody, which is the longest in my whole life since I was 15 years old. So there's some pretty good marks for me.
That's amazing. That's incredible, and definitely like I believe like something like that, like probation or parole or anything like that in general, is like a chain holding you down to remind you, hey, you're not actually free. You're still being held down by the man, and in being in your Christian walk and it's still having that. It's tough, so I can imagine what you've been going through. But congratulations
Thank you.
be finally free.
Yes.
And what exactly did you tell your probation officer?
So when he called me and let me know, first thing that came out of my mouth was thank you, Jesus, because none of the credit goes to me, you know what I'm saying? The thing that's different this time is that I trusted God, I showed up, and I tried to be as faithful as I can, and it paid off, you know what I mean? Without realizing it, the time flew by. They did a review, and some of my charges were pretty serious, but by the grace of God, they felt that I was capable of being a productive citizen, so here I am, you know?
Like you said, you thank God for that, because at the end of it, it's not our power.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, we can say we're going to do it, but we're never going to do it by ourselves, pretty much.
Exactly.
How's your Christian walk now?
It's still bumpy, you know. I expressed earlier during church that it's like God picked me up and placed me in the middle of a battlefield and told me to find my way home. And that's what I'm doing. You know, I'm stuck in the battle. I'm fighting every day. You know, I will remain saved. I will remain, you know, on this path because I choose to believe in the victory more than the defeat.
Would you express to them, like, is this life easier?
You know, like I said earlier, it's just a matter of being a part of. And I know society likes to throw restrictions on us on how we have to look or what we need to possess in order to be a part of, you know, whatever society wants to accept us as. But being a Christian and being upon this side and being, you know, in this part of a different lifestyle, I'd rather be part of this because the moral fiber and the character that I begin to adapt is of substance. And there's nothing more attractive, you know, to anybody than somebody that is worth something. And as I walk with God, I learned to realize that I'm royal priesthood, not in a prideful way, but that I have been set apart. And this is just more meaningful than any other life that I could have lived. So, you know, I know that it's rough. You know, people say you got to look this way or look that way. But that's not the case. God will begin to work on the inside to the outside, and everything will just fall into place. And that's, to me, is more attractive than anything. So.
One experience is like baptism. I was there for your baptism, and it was an amazing thing. What can you express to the young followers that we have once you get baptized, what to expect? Because I know that it says that, like I told you, it's not going to get easier. It's just you're not going to go through it alone.
Yeah.
What recommendations do you have for young baptized Christians?
Well, before I got baptized, I looked at my dad and I told my dad, I said, man, I've been through a lot of prison yards, but I've never been this scared before. Because I knew that it was, I was setting myself up for a challenge. You know what I mean? I was making a commitment that is a lifelong commitment. So, if you're thinking about getting baptized or you're going to get baptized, you're making the best decision in your life, but also you're making a commitment. And when you make this commitment and you're choosing to stand on the battlefield, you're choosing to stand next to those God places in your life as your fellow soldiers. So just know that you're going to be in for a fight. But we have the victory. So that's one thing that I understood, is that as I went into the water, as I went beneath the water, and as I came up with my sword in my hand, my full armor of God on me, and I was ready to fight. And that's what it's been. You know what I mean? But we have fellow soldiers next to us, like yourself, you know what I mean? That we have nothing to worry about. We have people that are going to take care of us, and most of all, God's going to take care of us. So
this segment of the channel or the videos that we do, I give it to our interviewee, and they can express anything they want to say to the youth out there, because God knows we need it. We need all the support and all the advice, because thinking we can do it alone is not possible.
Yeah, exactly. I guess what to say is that I've been down some rough roads. I know what it is to be alone. I know what it is to be homeless. I know what it is to be hungry. I know what it is to be addicted to drugs. I know what it is to be one of those guys, but it was all for I could be a part of something, so I could be one of those, make a difference type of people. But it just ended up me being alone in the long run. And it's a horrible feeling. So if you find yourself where you're trying to, to fit in or to become something that you haven't been called to be, I challenge you to get to know God, find a church, get to know God, get to know who He is, study His Word, and then God will eventually reveal His plan for your life. And that plan that He reveals to you is going to be of substance, and you're never going to have to be alone. He will always be with you. Like for me today, I know that my calling is I'm going to preach, all over the world one day. And I'm going to make a difference no matter where I go, because that's what God's called me to be. Now, being a part of that is more exciting than having to be a part of anything else that is contrary to God's word. So, I just want to encourage anybody out there, especially young people, if society says you have to look a certain way, then society doesn't really know who you really are. God knows who you are. God knows who He's called you to be. And just know and understand and remember that God took His hands and He formed you special and unique to be who you are today, so that one day you can be effective for His kingdom. So you are somebody, you do have a plan for your life. You just got to get to know who the one who provided that plan for you is.
Amen. And just to let you know, if you're looking for a spot to be at, our church definitely will greet you with open arms, and we can't wait to have you guys. If you have any questions about our church, all information is going to be in the description down below. And also, we have a couple events coming up. One of them is definitely the Kermes, which will be this Sunday, and it starts, I don't remember when it starts, but for sure, all the information is down below, and you can always contact us by email or even by our comment box, and we can give you all the information. And just to let you know what Kermes is pretty much a fundraiser, and the fundraiser is actually for the Shine Group that is going to go and do like missionary work, but they just don't go and just spread the word. They also provide services for those that can't get that services free of charge for them. And this is for just raising the funds. 100% of it goes to them, and we can't wait to have everybody come together. It's 5 churches come together and help out this ministry. And also, we are actually, the youth is having a school supply fundraiser, and we're pretty much gathering, we're not gathering money or anything of that sort. We just want school supplies. Go visit our church Facebook, and you'll see all the school supplies that are needed. There's about 249 students that need school supplies, and we're pretty much vouched for 72 or 75 students, and we're gonna meet that goal regardless with anybody's help or just me or Javier or our church. We're gonna meet the goal, but it'll be great to have you guys as our community reach out to us and say, hey, I have a bunch of school supplies for you guys. So get in contact with us and help us out. We'll be grateful for that. Other than that, thank you so much, Javier, for being on the show, and thank you for your words of encouragement. I hope that you understand it's not his words, it's God.
Amen.
It's God at the end. God gave him this life, he lived it, and he's not going to hold it in. He's going to express it because he doesn't want you to be on that same path, same road.
If I can do it, you can do it.
If he can do it, I can do it. But other than that, thank you for watching Regeneration TV. My name is Josh.
My name's Javier.
We're signing out. Peace.
That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.